Welcome to Chapter 7. May I introduce myself? I'm Ms. Modal. Hello. And you? You must be an English student. Am I right? Yes? Hello? Hello? Oh dear. I can't hear you. But that's okay. I know you're there. May, must, can't. Did you see how I use these words? In grammar, they're called modal auxiliaries. So, what are modal auxiliaries? Well, they're helping verbs that carry a lot of meaning. And that's what this chapter is about. Words like may, must, and can. Common helping verbs with important meanings. Hello again. Did you click the audio button? Can you hear me? There's something wrong there. What is it? Right, there should be no to. Can you hear me? That's better. You must tell me if I'm speaking loudly enough. Oh dear, did I just make another mistake? Yes, and you caught it, didn't you? No to after must. You must tell me. Now, using to with modals is sometimes a problem for students. Well, Chart 7.1 shows you when to use to, and just as importantly, when not to use to. Now, take a minute to read the list of modals in Chart 7.1. Well, those are the words we'll talk about in this chapter. Now, a lot of them have more than one meaning. We'll look at their meanings in later charts. Chart 7.1 is about their correct forms. Good to see you again.
Howdy, I'm Can. I'm a very talented guy, you know. Maybe I don't look like it, but I have lots of talents. You know, lots of skills, abilities. I can swim, can you? I can change the oil in my car. I can play the guitar. I can do anything.
No, you can't.
What?
You can't fly, but I can.
Oh, yeah? Well, you couldn't fly when you were first born.
Well, you couldn't walk when you were first born, you know.
Okay. So there you have it. Can is used for present or future abilities. Could is used for past abilities. That's what you'll read about in Chart 7.2. So long.
Bye-bye. Gotta fly.
Hi, remember me? We met in the chapter about future time. You know, I may go to a movie tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. I'm May. Now I'm here to tell you that I can also talk about present time. I wonder where you are right now. You may be in a computer lab. Yes, right now, present time. You can say the same thing using might. You might be in a classroom right now. Or you can use maybe. Maybe you're at home. Spelled as one word, maybe comes at the beginning of a sentence. But I'm a helping verb. I come after the subject, and I'm not spelled as one word. You may be at home. Oh, I also have another meaning. All passengers may board now. If you're at an airport, that means it's okay to get on the plane. That's called giving permission. You know, can is used to give permission too, but in a friendlier way. Say you give an airline worker your boarding pass. She might smile and say, "Thank you, and you can board now." Well, that's it for me. Anyway, Chart 7.3 is full of information. Bye!
I'm could. That rhymes with would or good. Just ignore the L when you say could out loud. You've already met Can. He told you about one of my meanings. Past ability. You couldn't walk when you were first born. But I have another meaning. Yes, a different meaning. I can talk about the future. It could rain tomorrow. Hey, who knows? Maybe it will and maybe it won't. But it's possible, right? Or I can talk about the present. You could be in a computer lab right now. So hey, maybe you are or maybe you aren't. I don't know, but it's possible. Well, so long. This could be the last time we see each other. But who knows? Maybe we'll run into each other again sometime. Could is a common word and has lots of uses. Nice meeting you. Take care. Hello. I'm Polite Question. Listen, I'm gonna make a phone call.
Hello?
Hello. May I speak to Bob, please?
May I ask who's calling?
Do you see how polite we are? Now, listen to this.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Bob.
So, who are you?
That's not a good way for people to talk to each other, is it? It's so important to be polite. Could I is used in polite questions too. And can I? Hello, could I speak to Bob? Or, hello, can I speak to Bob, please? There's really no difference in meaning. May I? Could I? Can I? All of them are ways to ask polite questions. May I and could I are sort of extra polite, but can I is polite too, especially when you add the word please. Let's say you're in class. You want to see a book. It's on a classmate's desk. Do you say to your classmate, "Hey you, hand me that book"? No, of course not. That's not polite. You need to use me. Polite question. Excuse me, could you hand me that book? Or, would you please hand me that book? Or, will you hand me that book, please? Or, can you hand me that book? Thanks. All of those questions are polite, and they all mean the same thing. Could you and would you are extra polite, but really politeness depends on your tone of voice. Here's how impolite sounds. Can you please hand me that book? And here's how polite sounds. Can you please hand me that book?
Excuse me. I'm here to tell you something you already know. You should eat breakfast every day. It's the most important meal of the day. It gives you energy for your day's work. Hello, I'm should. I give good advice. I say to you, this is a good idea. My friend ought to means the same thing. You ought to eat breakfast every day. And here's how I look and sound in the negative. You shouldn't skip breakfast. Ah, I can hear you asking, what should I have for breakfast? Did you notice the question form? And the answer is healthy food, not sweets and coffee. Maybe you should read a book about healthy eating. That's just a suggestion. I added maybe to make my advice a little softer. You can check all this out in chart 7-7. Bye-bye.
Excuse me, are you leaving soon? It's raining, you know. You'd better take your umbrella with you. You'd better. That's you had better. It means pretty much the same thing as should. You should take your umbrella with you. But had better, that's me, is often stronger than should. Had better says that there will be a bad result if you don't follow my advice. You'd better take your umbrella with you. If you don't, you'll get wet and cold and be miserable. Yes, you're right. Had is a past verb form, but not here. You use had better to talk about the present and future. English does some strange things, doesn't it? Well, it's getting late. I'd better go now. I have tickets to the opera, and I don't want to be late. And yes, I'm going to take my umbrella with me. Goodbye now.
I'm a teacher, and I have a busy day today. I have to teach 5 classes. I have to go to 3 meetings. Have to. That's me. People like to use me to talk about things they need to do in everyday life. They use me both in speaking and in writing. People also like to use have got to, but usually only in speaking. I've got to teach 5 classes today. I've got to go to 3 meetings. Now, let me tell you about must. Must talks about things people need to do too, but it's a strong word. You must show your passport at the border crossing. That means you have no choice. Period. Have to, have got to, must. All of us express necessity. And listen, this is another strange thing in English. We all have the same form in the past. Had to. I had to teach 5 classes yesterday. We had to show our passports when we crossed the border. Well, I've got to go to class now. Don't forget, you can read about us in Chart 7-9. Hello. Do you want to hear me speak? Then you have to click the audio button. You must click the audio button. As I explained in the last chart, those 2 sentences mean the same thing, except must is often stronger than have to. Well, now I'm here to tell you that have to and must don't have the same meaning when you use not. Let me show you. First, let's look at don't have to. Let's say you've already finished all of your homework for today. That means you don't have to study tonight. In other words, it's not necessary. You can choose to do something else if you'd like. But when you add not to must, it means do not do this. That's called prohibition. I'd like to invite you to a birthday party for my friend Susan, but you must not tell Susan about the party. It's a surprise. That means do not tell Susan about the party. Here's how the contraction of must and not sounds. You mustn't tell Susan about the party. Bye now.
I am must. Well, here's what you know about me so far. 1. I express strong necessity. You must show your passport at the border. 2. I express prohibition when I'm used with not. You must not tell Susan about the party. It's a surprise. And 3. Yes, I have one more meeting. I can express a logical conclusion. Logical conclusion. That means you look at information, think about it, and then make your best guess about what it means. Let me show you. Maybe that'll make more sense. Here's the information you have. Jim is sneezing. He's coughing. So, what's your conclusion? Jim must be sick. He must have a cold. And I bet you're right. Look, here's another example. I've never met you before, right? But you're using this CD-ROM program, and this program is for English learners. So I figure you must be an English learner. I don't know that for 100% sure, but it's my best guess. Am I right?
Pay attention. I mean you. Yes, you. I'm talking directly to you. I'm imperative. I tell other people what to do. I can be strong and give orders like a general in the army. Sit down. Be quiet. Don't move. But I have a softer side, too. I can be polite. Please have a seat. Tell me how I can be of help. And I can be friendly and can give directions. Click the button at the top right to hear me speak. Click the arrow at the bottom to go to the next screen. There. I'm done. Now go away. I have lots of other students I need to talk to.
I have some good ideas for you and me. Let's go swimming today. Too cold? Then let's go to a movie. But first, let's have lunch at a sidewalk cafe. And let's get some ice cream after the movie. How does all that sound? Do you like my suggestions for you and me? Good. You know, Carmen might like to come with us. Why don't you call Carmen? Why don't you invite her to come with us? Good. Spending the day with friends is a wonderful thing to do. Yes, my name is Let's. That's short for Let Us. I make friendly suggestions. And my friend, Why Don't You, makes friendly suggestions too. You can read about us in chart 713.
Would you like some coffee? Or tea? What is your preference? Preference. That's me. Hello. I'd rather have a cup of tea than a cup of coffee right now. That's because I like tea better than coffee. And that means I always prefer tea to coffee. Well, those are common ways to express preference in English. Look carefully at the patterns in chart 714. Would rather do this than that. Prefer this to that. Like this better than that. Now, about that cup of tea. Would you like to join me?